That Baltimore County Police press conference is set to get underway. We are expected to hear from Chief Robert McCullough starting right now regarding the Gwynn Oak homicide investigation. Let's take a listen in.
This evening, we'd like to announce that we've made an arrest in the July 7th homicide involving Giovanna Myrie and her brother Steve Allen. If you remember back on that date, the homicide occurred in the 6100 block of Tallis Road, in which the brother and sister were murdered. We have arrested a Keith Maurice Jones Jr., who's 16 years of age, who has an address in West Baltimore in Baltimore City. He was taken into custody early this morning by Baltimore County detectives when they served a search warrant and an arrest warrant for him. He's charged with the homicide of both victims. Right now, what we can tell you is that this individual was known to our 15-year-old victim and also to her 9-year-old brother. He's right now being held at Baltimore County Detention Center with bail denied. With that, I'll next have County Executive Captain Klossmeyer speak, and then Councilman Jones, and then I'll step back up and answer any questions that you may have.
Thank you, Chief. I just would like to say how sad a day like today is, and please keep the families in your prayers. And I am so happy with not with the results, but I am so pleased that the police department did such a great, quick job to this part of the whole situation. So thank you, police officers, if you're in here, and thank you, Chief, very, very much. So thank you.
Again, I'm Councilman Julian Jones. I am just taken back by the fact that young people at the age of 16 years old will not only have access to a gun, but have the propensity to actually murder someone and murder two people. So this is an absolute sad day for all of us here in our community, in our country, that this type of violence takes place and is being perpetrated by young people. But at the same time, I want to thank our police department, who work extremely hard each and every day to have a very, very high clearance rate in Baltimore County. I've said it before, I said it again. We can't stop random acts of violence, but just trust and believe that when these violence is perpetrated here in Baltimore County, we will not leave any stones unturned before we make an arrest and take that person to justice. So thank you so much.
And once again, I like to reiterate what the county executive and the councilman said. We can't say enough good things about our detectives and our investigators, and that also includes our crime lab and the people who work in our crime lab for the great work that they did in this case. From the very beginning, we were very diligent, and we pursued the suspect in this case. I know it took much longer than I wanted it to. However, we had to make sure that we put together a very airtight case, considering the age of the suspect in this case, and with recent changes in law in the state of Maryland. We had to make sure that we did our work the right way, the way that we always do. This case also highlights for me a couple issues. One is juvenile violence itself, just violence by juveniles on other juveniles. And it also highlights the point that as parents, we need to make sure that we know who our kids are associating with. We also need to make sure that when we go to work or we go out of the house, that we know who are coming and going in our homes, especially who are with our kids when we're not around. And the final issue is it's just dating violence, teen violence, between people who have relationships. So we need to be mindful of those things. And with that, I'll take questions. Gary?
Yeah, so the rifle, which you just said, forgive me if you mentioned it earlier, can you confirm that the 15-year-old was dating Jones or dated them at one point? Was this an ex-boyfriend or a current?
What I can say is that we knew that they knew each other, that there was some type of friendship or relationship there.
Any idea on what Jones's motive may have been?
At this point, we do not have any confirmed motive for the reason he did.
And what led investigators to Jones? How were you all able to track him down?
I can't go into all those details right now. Much of that will be in the charging document. You'll eventually, I'm sure, have access to the charging document. But what I'll say is excellent police work. We utilize all technology, everything possible. I've said it before. One of the great things is that our administration and our county council have invested in the police department, invested in the infrastructure of Baltimore County. You can't go anywhere and not be on camera in Baltimore County. You can't go anywhere and not be seen.
Will he be charged as an adult? Can you tell us the charges?
Yes, he has been charged as an adult. I don't have the charges in front of me, but I know that that one of the charges at least will be, murder.
Chief,
Charged with homicide.
You said it took you longer than you anticipated to make this arrest, but yet the arrest came. The murder notwithstanding, how troubling was this case for you and police?
I think if you go back and look at the video from that night, I didn't even realize it until I looked later. I mean, how troubling it was showed in my face and my demeanor that night. It's troubling when you consider how horrific this crime was carried out. It was terrible, and when you reflect on the fact that a child who had just turned 16 carried out this crime and did it in the manner and the way that he did, it's troubling.
And in terms of, I know it's an ongoing investigation, we can wait for the charging documents, but if you could share what you can, in terms of, you mentioned that parents should know, or something you said about their children and their dating. How long have they been dating, and what was the nature really of that relationship?
I don't have any information as it relates to that. I can't confirm whether they were truly dating or whether they actually just knew each other, but I knew they were known to each other and they had some type of relationship.
Last question here. The 9-year-old, he was there. He obviously wasn't dating the boy. Why the 9-year-old a victim?
Well, I mean, I can only speculate that he was a witness. He was an innocent bystander, and he was the result of everything that went on or transpired that day.
Was this teen suspect known to police prior to this? Any, past situations with law enforcement, that kind of thing?
With Baltimore County, I don't believe so. Of course, in the beginning of the investigation, he came to our radar and was one of several suspects in this case, and we were able to determine that he was the one that carried out the crime.
Are you able to talk a little bit about the circumstances that led up to the shooting? Had he been in the home, had he been spending time there before the shooting took place, or?
All I can say is we do know that he had been at the home before, maybe even several days prior, that we can confirm, at least on, to our knowledge, July 4th, that he had been at that location.
I was told by neighbors that there was a big party too on July 4th at that location. So, was he known to the parents too? Like, parents knew who he was and everything?
I can't confirm that, but it's possible that he was known to them.
Chief, a quick follow-up. You mentioned that that night you were very confident by saying, "We have a suspect. We have a suspect." Did you know that night that he was the one you were looking for? Let me rephrase that. What led you to him?
I will say that we had a belief that there was a definite suspect. We didn't have a definite identity, but we had an idea of who it might have been. And basically, we followed the evidence. utilized all the technology that we had available to us. We utilized witness statements to us. We utilized everything that was made available to us to lead us to this suspect.
Chief, obviously, this sent a lot of shockwaves through the community. The funeral was yesterday. This really had a lot of people. You were emotional about it, impacted us as well. What do you say to the community tonight? Now that you have this big break in case this arrest that happened, what do you say to the community tonight that they still is shaken up by all of this? Just on the human side of this.
Well, first of all, I'd like to say that my heart goes out to the family and friends of the victims. Like I said that night, 2 lives were lost. These are lives that will never be realized, a brother and a sister. What I would like to say to the community is that Baltimore County is still a great place to live, work, and play, and to raise your children, or for your kids to go to school. These things happen. They happen everywhere across our nation. They rarely happen in Baltimore County when you consider, we have a population, of about 850,000 people, and on any given day you have well in excess of 1 million people that travel throughout this county and come here and work. And all of last year we had 28 homicides. And as of this point, we're halfway through July, and we only have 12 homicides this year. So it's a great place to live. It's a place that's safe to live. The real issue is the number of guns that have proliferated our society, the availability of guns, the need to make sure that we lock up our guns in our homes. But we want people to know that Baltimore County is safe. We want the citizens and residents of Baltimore County to know that they can depend on their police department when something happens, that the incredible men and women that work in the Baltimore County Police Department will respond, and we will catch our suspect.
I just want to reconfirm, you said you will be charged as an adult, at least 2 counts of murder.
Do you know how he got access to a gun?
No, we do not.
Was he caught on camera? Leaving the house and that kind of thing, Chief?
I would say that he was on camera in several ways throughout the community.
That night?
Say again?
That night? Because I know you said he'd been in the area.
He had been in the area prior to the crime, and of course he was in the area after the crime. Any other questions? Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Chief.
Great job.
And again, that's Chief Robert McCullough with Baltimore County Police making this huge arrest in this case that happened 2 weeks ago. I think the chief said it best. I mean, we are both parents. This story sad in so many ways. And a 16-year-old Keith Maurice Jones Jr. now being charged as an adult, taken into custody in this case.
Yes, it's a heartbreaking update. We also know that he's out of West Baltimore. He was familiar with both of the victims involved in this. The chief even mentioned, I think it was as early as July 4th, he was at the home. And at this point, he's being charged as an adult. This is news that we were not hoping to hear, but they said that security, surveillance video is what really facilitated and really narrowing it down.
And again, this happening 2 weeks ago. We brought you this story. It's breaking news at 11 o'clock, and Baltimore County Police now make a massive arrest in this case. A 16-year-old taken into the custody in the death of 2 young siblings, a 9-year-old brother and a 15-year-old sister, a case that many have been waiting for answers on. We will have much more on the story coming up tonight at 5:30, but for right now, we're going to send you to a quick break.